been this old time since high school. I'm 6'4" and my chain like 5'2". Tell Shorty money talks and I can buy you.
Yeah. What up, family? It's me, Rondo. Let me just get this. AKA Parnell Shuttlesworth, BKA your mom's homie, AKA Young Ash Ketchum. I gotta catch 'em all. FKA Mr. Big Stuff. And my pronouns is Black Matrix. And I would like to welcome y'all to the Treehouse. Out of Chicago, this is 77 Tree, the podcast, in conjunction with the Bel Air Boys. Here is where we discuss wrestling and all things associated with it. Whether it's your first time checking us out or you've been here before, do me a favor. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're rating, make sure you're reviewing. All of those things count for the analytics, and those give us the numbers that we need in order to know what type of content to continue to put out for you all. So I thank you again in advance. So today we come with the Monday Night Raw review for the May 11th episode, which aired on Netflix. Let me say that the right way. Today we are reviewing the May 11th, 2026 episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. There we go. My apologies. It's summertime. Things are warming up out here. It's getting hot, y'all. Work has been very pleasant, very demanding, and that's how I like it. But without making any excuses, I kind of got the vibe killed by the weak-ass, WrestleMania pay-per-views that we previously watched and reviewed. It was a lot better on the second review. We're currently in the midst of editing and finishing the second part of the WrestleMania review. It's a lot going on right now, y'all. Nothing to be worried about, nothing to complain about. Shit's on deck, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all know what it is. We're about to go ahead and review this episode. But first, let me say, if you know anybody that might be interested in 77 Tree, the podcast, be sure to share it with them. You know what I'm saying? Clip some shit up. I enjoy doing this for y'all. And that was the thing that pushed me to continue, because that WrestleMania weekend killed my vibe. I was ready to be done. And so was the squad. We all talked about it like collectively, but individually, we all pretty much decided I might end up taking a break. But we powered through. Anyway, let's get to it, y'all. So this pay-per-view, or my apologies, this Monday Night Raw episode is on the back of whatever PLE they just had. Backlash, if I'm not mistaken, correctly stated. It was Backlash, I remember. So the episode starts with Roman Reigns making his way to the arena through the backstage garage area. Adam Pearce tries to cut him off. He's like, yo, due to the antics of your cousin from last week, I gotta fire him. I gotta get him out of here. Roman like, no, you don't, not yet. You can't fire him. And you're like, why? What you mean? And Roman says, because he hasn't acknowledged me yet. And I must say, I love it when Roman goes, like, the character arc that this man has taken. I mean, I don't know if it's been matched. Like, just randomly thinking quickly right now, understand this. He was always meant to be the golden child. They forced him. We didn't want it. 6-7 years. He leaves. I'm not going to even go there. He leaves. He comes back reinvented. No more vest, no more shirt. He got the wise man with him, and he's able to be himself. No more bullshit scripted promos. Now him and the wise man working together. And it's not just no random pairing. The wise man has always been connected with the Samoans since the late 80s, going back to the Head Shrinkers. He managed the team in WCW as well, but I digress. So this feud between Roman and Jacob is far from over. Next, we get Paul Heyman and the Vision making their way to the ring. Paul Heyman cuts one of his classic promos, one of his classic heel promos, trashing the city and uplifting his squad. He briefly speaks on the fact that after Braun has defeated Seth, that chapter is over. Now it's time to move forward, along with allowing Theory and Logan to air their grievances with the Street Profits, who have continuously come and attacked them, whether it's warranted or not. Obviously, this is leading to a tag team title bout. Who will be victorious? That has yet to be figured out. I could see with having the Profits off for TV for so long, giving them a win is almost like, yeah, that should be the move. Austin and Logan are a makeshift tag team. The vision as they first, no pun intended, envisioned it isn't there anymore. So I think the tag titles were more of a transitional situation. With all that, Logan Paul, in theory, cut a quick promo. Logan's going off. He gets good heat in WWE. People genuinely hate this guy. He's good at what he's doing. We get Joe Hendry interrupting Logan Paul with the Fire Logan Paul song. I will not go into it for copyright reasons. I won't go there either. This is all setting up for a 6-man tag. The Street Profits with Joe Hendry against The Vision. Ron Breaker, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. This match is exactly what you think it is. The Profits and Logan and Theory, they have their back and forth. If you're interested in this match, I mean, by all means, check out Raw. I could have did without this. I knew what was going to happen without watching it. Shout out defense. That's one of his lines. And that naturally just came. I am not a biter. I'm a writer for myself and others. I say a defense line. I'm only bigging up my brother. Okay, anyway. Braun gets in, he demolishes. But of course, we get interference by Seth Rollins. My apologies. But of course, we get interference by Seth Rollins, which is a DQ for the Street Profits, which is also playing into the fact that Rollins has interfered into the Street Profits business and or matches for about 3 or 4 weeks now. Montez is not for the shit. Dawkins, he seemed to be wavering, but soon as Montez put his foot down, Dawkins is like, you know what? We out of here. I imagine and this is what I'm saying. It could be Street Profits lose, and it starts the wheels turning for the Montez singles push, which would make all the sense in the world with Bianca being pregnant right now. So we're going to keep our eyes open on this story angle because this is ongoing. They've done the 6-man tag already. It all comes down to what happens with the tag titles. Seth is most likely going to be floating at the bottom of the top tier or the very top of the mid card for half a year to a year. A lot of shit's going on. Not to mention, respectfully, he's about to be aged out. He misses a lot of time with injury. So we're getting a new crop of wrestlers. Shout out Javon. Shout out Obafemi. Shout out Ethan Page. Like, there's cats on the roster that can carry now, bar any injuries or things like that to slow them down. So we get more scenes of Montez Ford and Seth Rollins going back and forth. There's even some pushing that's taking place. Backstage, we get an El Grande segment where he's speaking about preparing for his match against the real El Grande. In walks Liv Morgan and Rey Mysterio Jr.'s son, Dominic, who is also a top heel in WWE. My boy is doing work. He's he's some form of champion from AAA. I don't want to misspeak, but I don't have it currently on my person. But Dom is a cash cow for them, a golden goose, if you will. So he's always going to be in the mix. Not to mention, he's the leader of the Judgment Day with Liv Morgan. It's big business for them right now. With that being said, him and El Grande gets into it. So now they have a match this evening because Dom says, he laughs at El Grande and he says, you're not even a real luchador, which tickled my soul because they're going back and forth between he is a luchador, he's not. Either way, I'm here for it. After that, Los Garza walks up and they talk to Pierce. They want a shot at the mega tag team titles, if I'm not mistaken. So, or they want a shot at the tag titles or something along those lines. I don't know. I wasn't checking in for it. Not to be disrespectful, mainly because these guys will be gone before WrestleMania next year. They're solely there to put other talent over. They'll be let go. Because we all know that TKO are restructuring contracts. They're renegotiating deals with wrestlers, offering them up to 50% less salary than what they were originally guaranteed. So we're going to definitely keep our antennas up till Survivor Series time, late October, early November, just to see what's all taking place. But Pierce says, yo, let's go to my office, let's talk. So Los Garza, Adam Pierce, they step off to the side to have a quick conversation to see what's taking place. All right, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we got Penta coming to the ring. Penta is another cash cow for WWE. That's one of the best moves that they made. Not to mention, it was the same routine. They made him pay his dues for a year. Now he's getting a push. He just happens to be charismatic enough and fantastic in the ring to hold his own. So when we get back, we're going to pick up from right there. Y'all hang tight. Appreciate you. We'll be right back, y'all. And we're back. Appreciate y'all hanging tight with your boy. But let's pick up from where we left off, fam. Coming back, we picking up with the Penta entrance. And y'all already know that Penta has been taking the WWE by storm since he pulled up. Bullshit aside, the man's interest is lit. That's one, like, his interest, it gives me Attitude Era vibes. I used to love when the wrestlers, or the superstars, I should say, would get their grand entrances with the pyro. Like, a prime example, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels in the late 90s had the big HB, or mid 90s had the HBK they would drop behind them with the sparklers. Psycho Sid had a similar situation. I used to love when DX would get in the ring and Shawn would do his pose and the fireworks would go off behind him. And then Triple H and X-Pac, when they get in the ring and do the bah, 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 and X-Pac jump in the air for his last one. I love the showmanship of the entrances, and I miss that. It has one of those. A handful of the wrestlers have that in their entrance, and that grabs their attention before you even do any wrestling moves. I'll tell you somebody who incorporated some antics into their entrance that has helped to get them over. Javon Evans. He didn't used to come out like that. Do your research if you think I'm bullshitting. Anyway, it cuts a promo, Ethan Page comes out. Y'all know that I'm an EP fan. I'm all about ego. He comes out and he begins to cut a promo on Penta about how, look, I'm out here like this. You the one hiding your face with a mask and makeup, huh? I'm the greatest Canadian to ever grace a wrestling ring. My boy got shades of like Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, along with like shit. A little Razor Ramon is what I was thinking. Like the machismo, if you will. And it is just something about his character. Like, I enjoy Ethan Page. He's a constant heel. He doesn't need to be babyface. He works great not to mention they're almost doing away with that in wrestling. Certain wrestlers can toe the line between babyface and heel, if you will. I don't need to see ego babyface. Keep him a heel. Certain people are heels. Randy Orton is a heel. Drew McIntyre is a heel. You might can babyface Randy. Let me rephrase that. You might can babyface Randy, but I need heel Drew McIntyre because when he's in heel mode, he still gets babyface pops. Anyway, during this exchange between Penta and Ethan, Rusev makes his way down, as well as my apologies, as well as the dynamic between Ethan Page and Rusev. There's something there. Javon Evans also makes his way down, mainly because he has a match against Rusev this evening. But these four gentlemen are all vying for the IC title, which Penta has. Penta has had it for almost a year now. I can see him preparing to drop it. I mean, he also retained at WrestleMania in a ladder match. So I feel like his next defense of the title, he'll most likely be dropping it. It'll probably be in a four-way, and I'm calling EP for the win right now. He's going to exploit Rusev. Javon Evans could also be, I mean, don't get me wrong. Wait, let me clarify, because that was definitely a biased choice. But it's about what the roster needs. Do you want a babyface champion? You give it to Javon. If you need a heel champ, you give it to EP. You give it to Javon. You let Javon hold it for a little bit. Let Rusev take it off of him, and EP take it off of Rusev. I'm cool with that because you draw up dynamics that can play out for 2 or 3 years and allow Javon to build a very strong foundation with the main roster. During the match between Javon Evans and Rusev, This was one that's worth going to see. Javon Evans never disappoints. Rusev needs to be pushed. I repeat, Rusev needs to be pushed. You don't bring him back and sign him to just let him flounder. And if it's unknown, WWE likes to punish their talent. So Rusev was on punishment for about a year. He was relegated. He came back for like 2 weeks on the main roster. Then he dropped down to main event shit. And they just started incorporating him maybe a month before WrestleMania that just happened. So maybe they got him in the mix now. Fingers crossed, because I'm a big fan of Rusev too. They also need to bring back Rusev Day. If I have to continue to ask them to give the people what they want, it'll bring back the views that you're looking for. Like they act like, oh my God. Like whoever runs their social media PR team needs to get their shit in. Like they need to get it together. Moving forward, the Rusev and Javon Evans match was very great. Look it up if you would like to see it. It's worth the watch. I would tell you, spoiler, 5, 4, 3, 2. Javon Evans won with the OG cutter. After this match, we get a Paige and Brie Bella entrance to the ring. They are the current women tag team champions. This is something I could do without. And it's mainly because these women do not translate to the current generation of female wrestler. They are not it. I get the cheap pop for Paige, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, when the Bellas got injured, or my apologies, when Nikki became injured, they pivoted because they were able to pick up Paige. You build a storyline with Paige helping to win the titles, and you continue to move forward like that. That works. That's fine. Take the titles off of them now, because they're not getting the pops that you're expecting in WWE. They're not checking for these females right now, bro. Not them. And that's no disrespect, but y'all got what y'all needed to do. Let's move forward. Afterwards, we get a backstage segment with Roman talking to Jimmy, and they talking about Jacob. Roman wants the acknowledgement from Jacob. He says that was the deal. It was in the contract. He has to acknowledge me. You kind of see in Jimmy's demeanor and the way he's been conducting himself later, he seems to be the only one with his feet grounded. Jay's been on the verge of crashing out for about 2.5 months, consistently for about 3 to 5 weeks. So I'm waiting on that, which will most likely be a reverse of what happened a couple of years back when the bloodline was locked in and Jay and Jimmy got into it. But we now got Crash Out Jay. So we're going to see. Roman ain't going for nothing outside of Jacob acknowledging him. Not to mention Roman barely got out of that match. Roman was victorious. Roman did not win that match. Roman outlasted Jacob. He outsmarted him. And that's what the tribal chief does. So it's no slight at all. Dom cuts a promo on the OG El Grande. They have a match this evening. So Ruka and Io Sky have a fantastic outing. My apologies. Let me say that again. My bad. My apologies. So Ruka and Io Sky had a fantastic showing. This is a match that's worth going back to see. So Ruka is one of the new call-ups from NXT. Her finisher is off the meat rack. I will not go into detail, but I will say if you're interested and you are a fan of wrestling, of the current style of women wrestling, these two will be matching up for years to come. Spoiler alert. I will tell you the winner in 3, 2, 1. Io dodged a soul snatcher and then got her with the most devastating move in all of wrestling, the roll-up pin. Uno, dos, tres. But there was a show of respect afterwards. Again, Ruka, they're pushing her, and it just sucks because there's so much talent already on the roster. We have Bianca and Naomi currently will say maternity leave. They're out, but they're going to come back and move right into contention. Check that match out. It was a hell of a showing for both women. Next, we get a Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso backstage segment. Jay on lookout. He trying to cut off Jacob before he pull up to the shop. This is where you begin to see what I've been talking about since before WrestleMania. They're planting the seeds of the beef between Jay and Jimmy. Again, Jimmy seems to be the only one that's grounded. He talks to Jay and he explains to Jay that, Roman seemed to be tweaking. Like he thinking real wild. Meanwhile, Jay like, nah, He ain't tweaking. Matter of fact, he the only one making sense. It's subtle, but it's little cues that you gotta check for. The back and forth. A few weeks ago, when Jay and Jimmy were speaking to Roman together, they were on either side of Roman, and it was almost like that angel and demon scenario on both shoulders. That should have been the number one telltale sign. But again, these are all things that you just got to keep an eye on. Backstage, I believe Jackie talks to the Street Profits. They're getting a shot at the titles at the next PLE, which is Saturday night main event. I believe it's May 23rd. This is where things should move forward with this storyline between the Vision and the Street Profits. Seth pulls up at the end of their promo backstage. More seeds for whatever is happening between these two. Again, Montez ain't going. He's stepping straight to Seth, telling him, stay out of our business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. You selfish as shit. This ain't for you. This ain't about you. The tag team. You a solo. Didn't you say you don't need nobody help? Seth like, well, I was wrong. Like, nah. You do the same shit all the time. Everybody was right about you. You're a user, woo-wop-de-bam. Dawkins look conflicted, but he riding with his tag team partner. Again, we gonna keep a close eye on this. Next, we get the Obafemi challenge. Now, this is something I, respectfully speaking, the Obafemi challenge does not need to happen. You put Obafemi up against whatever wrestler you have on a roster that you want to give TV time to, and you let him squash him. Why? Because you have now built Obafemi up as this unstoppable force, and he needs to be pushed as such. I am speaking as if WWE do not know what to do with Obafemi, so I will blatantly say verbatim what they need to do. Take Obafemi and you let him win for a year and a half. You try your hardest to keep him separate from Roman Reigns, because Roman is currently your top dog. Shit should not hit the fan until Oba has to face Cody Rhodes for a title. Now, will Cody, or shall I say, he has to face Cody for top supremacy? Wherever you put Oba, the final boss is the OTC. The thing is, if you wouldn't have put him in the position you did with Brock, you wouldn't have to do this. Currently, you have to make him unstoppable. And whoever does defeat him have to outsmart him, cheat inconsiderably amounts in order to beat him. No one can just outright beat him. He sells, and he's a hell of a sale. But you've made him into something that you now have to fend with. With all that being said, Pierce comes out and says, open challenge is canceled. Not tonight. Oba ain't never going. He came to get the people what they want. He go backstage. He grabbed Los Garza because they was talking to Pierce, and he squashed them. Just recklessly destroys these two gentlemen. And that's what they're going to be doing for the remainder of their contract, which will probably be about 6 to 9 months. If they're lucky, they make it to the end of WrestleMania next year. He squashed them. It is what it is. They don't know what to do with him, and I just told y'all twice what they need to do with Oba. That's it. That's all. Ain't no other way around it. We'll see what they do. Appreciate y'all locking in with me. Again, if y'all see anything or know anybody, because another thing we will be doing this summer, we will be doing live watch-alongs, and we're going to have special guests coming in to do reviews with us live reviews of PLEs. Ergo, what we did with Cuzzo Andy Man X4 and defense. So appreciate y'all. My bad. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to continue on. We have the Dom and El Grande match that they've been setting up all evening. I believe we got 2 promo segments and a backstage segment, and then we're going to go into the OTC coming out to say what he need to say. Y'all stay with your boy. Hang tight for me one more time. All right, y'all. Hey, I got a lot of loot and I ain't looking for a lady. And you can never play me. I'm from Chi-Town, baby. I wake up in the morning, take a piss and wash my hands, take a knee and thank the man, then get back to the money. Thank y'all for staying tuned in with your boy one time. Rondoughs, we're in the building. 77 Tree the podcast. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to share, be sure to review. If you have any ideas or any extra commentary that you would like to provide, you will be acknowledged. See what I did there? And no ideas will go unheard. We do not disrespect as long as you come correct. And that's real shit. I don't know how that Zoom be working. So shout out technology. Anyway, we get an OG Grande promo talking shit about Dom preparing for their match. This match is what you expect it to be. Check it out if you want to. I knew what this was. All of these matches, whoever is involved will always involve a interference situation because it's all building to the Grandes having a mask versus mask match at Triple A's PL. Check that out if you want to. Spoiler alert for the winner in 3, 2, 1. Dom retains his title after interference by the Grandes, and Dom hits the 6-1, the OG 1-2-3. The Vision cut a promo talking shit about Joe Hendry, more like Theory does. But if you pay attention while Jackie Redmond is interviewing, my apologies. If you pay attention while Jackie Redmond is interviewing Theory and the Vision, Saint Dupree is in the passenger seat. Now, I'm not sure if this is a relationship or I'm not sure if they're working on some type of angle, but it's something we will be attentive to. Then to close out the show, we have Roman making his way down to the ring. Jimmy with him. He gets into the ring. He gets his acknowledgement from the crowd, but then we get two pulling up. Jay still back there try to cut him off. He trying to talk to Jacob. Jacob ain't trying to hear that shit. He moving right towards the ring. He going right towards the backstage gorilla area. He pulling up. Jay cut him off like, look, you need to listen, woo out the bound. I wasn't even really paying attention to what Jay was saying because I knew what was about to happen. Stole his ass. Jacob hit him. He make his way down there. Now, Jimmy cuts. He's in between the ramp, the top of the stage, the ramp, and the ring. Run right through Jimmy. Not to mention earlier, Jacob was like, man, hey, you want me to acknowledge you, Roman? Hell. You know what Jacob be on. But he was like, nah, you basically gonna have to get that acknowledgement out of blood, my boy. Get into the ring, they get the scrapping right away. But Roman ain't going. And Roman gets the better of Fatu. He grab a chair and get the beating the acknowledgement out of that boy. But Fatu do not stop. When they call my man the Samaritan, my apologies. When they call my man the Samoan werewolf, they ain't halfway capping. Fatu get the upper hand. Roman hit a Superman punch. Fatu just basically take that, gets up, Tongan death grip, take Roman down every time. Make that boy weak in the knees. He could hardly speak. He lose all control. You know the rest of the song. Jacob power bombs Roman through the table, and I hope, and I almost feel like this was definitely an audible because the crowd started chanting for table. And the one thing the GOATs do, the one thing the superstars know is to give the people what they want. So I feel like the crowd started chanting and Roman gave him some sort of sign to do so. He powerbombed Roman through the announce table. And I mean, that's how we end the show up, baby. Fatu is on a rampage, and I feel like the next time he gets a shot at the Roman's title, he'll probably take it. We also had rumblings of Roman supposedly being off TV, but then we heard like 2 days later, those were false rumors. But we also know WWE likes to lie and they try to cover shit up. And when shit leaks, they like to do fugazi. It's all crazy right now. We're just going to keep our ears to the street to see what's happening because the one thing I know for a fact, there will be more wrestlers leaving WWE before Survivor Series hit. Now, that's the end of Raw. That is the review for Monday Night Raw's May 11th, 2026 edition of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. It was what it was. This is that time of year where it becomes convoluted. You got WrestleMania, then 3 weeks after that, you have another pay-per-view. If you don't have a strong enough build from WrestleMania, leading into Backlash is trash. What they ended up doing this year, because of injuries and whatever other reasons you want to make, they had a lot of matches that they couldn't put on WWE WrestleMania 42 this year, and they rolled them over into Backlash, which I'm cool with. But that's what happened. And that barely saved that PL. Moving into wrestling news. The New Day are almost for sure my apologies. The New Day for sure are almost AEW bound. Dream matches galore. You could bring them in babyface or heel. Either way, them and a new promotion, and they will be going by Kofi and Austin Creed. So we are about to start preparing ourselves to review AEW Dynamite. AEW is the rival promotion of WWE. They're the second biggest wrestling promotion in the United States. We're going to start getting our toes wet. We're going to dip our foot in the water so we can get a foundation on what AEW is about, because we have about 65 days before AEW will be debuting Kofi and Creed. And I'm hoping it's at one of those pay-per-views. Stadium Stampede, All In, All Out, whatever. Get the people what they want. So we're going to keep a lock on that point for sure. But I just had to drop that in there. You dig? WWE effed up when they let them guys go, man. And the thing is, this, I hope, I pray, and I feel like it's going to start something in wrestling, because Kofi's a 20-yearer. Creed has been there for 14, 16 years. Big E ain't cleared to wrestle, and now you're keeping him on the roster to do commentary. I would love to see E leave to at least go link up with his boys to do management, because mark my words, Creed will get over there and negotiate one of the greatest contracts in wrestling history for him and Kofi. Woods has a PhD in psychology. Shout out Andy Man X4. He told me that. So it's butter. It's cooked over there. And they're not the type to come and try to demand slots or like bully their way. Like, no, everyone, reports have came out and said everyone is ecstatic to have Woods and Kofi come to AEW. So it's for sure almost a done deal. In other news, Saturday night main event is May 23rd. Essentially, about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks from now, we will be reviewing that. They're building the card for it. We'll see what it turned out into. SmackDown has also been a better show. I hate to say it, but since they got rid of Road Dogg, I don't know who's been in charge outside of Chat GPT. The show has better builds, the wrestlers, and each show has the right demanding amount of wrestlers. It's just the presentation and how they're presenting them. A week after that, we have Clash in Italy. Now, Saturday night main event, that is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Clash in Italy is May 31st, and it's in Italy. They will be going on tour. They will most likely do a Wednesday through Monday situation, giving that country, that area, a week of the WWE experience, which they love doing. And I'm all here for it. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. For sure, Stephanie Vaquera will get a good push. I'm not sure. Oh, Julia. Julia is half Italian. She's Japanese and Italian. She'll get a hell of a push. Becky will make a debut. Becky will make an appearance. It's going to be a lit show. But again, it's a lot happening, but we ain't going to stop. We might pull up late, but hey, CPT, baby. I'm all about it. Not Chat GPT, color people time. But I still bring it, don't I? Huh? The cookout started at 2. I pull up at 7:30, but I still got the ice. I brought the ice just like I told you I would. I'm glad y'all got some already, but I did bring the ice. Look, matter of fact, you know what? Check it out. Go get another bottle. Stop the ice cream truck. I'm going to buy all the kids ice cream. I'm going to still come through and make up for my fuck up. Just give me a shot. Huh? Put me in, coach. I'll make it right. I'm going to get us there. You just got to have faith, baby. You know what it is. All right, y'all. This was another episode of 77 Tree, the podcast. Straight out the treehouse from Chicago, out west, where we do it the best. I appreciate y'all so very much. Again, if you like what you hear, clip some shit up, share some shit, tell a friend like, hey, it's this nigga I know who watch wrestling. He be locked in. He try to be funny with the shit, but you know what I'm saying? Either way, y'all know I come through with the review. I would like to shout out my man Defense, my brother D Block, my cousin Andy Man X4, and everybody who locks in and checks out the podcast, whether you checking us out on Spotify, whether you see me on YouTube, whether you catch me on Apple Music, Apple Podcast. 7 Tree is available wherever you pick up your podcast. Be sure to rate, review, leave comments. Let me know something, man. Even if you're going to talk shit, just talk to me. You did. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get ready and get up out of here. Y'all know who it is. It's Rondo. Let me just go ahead and get this corrected one time. AKA Parnell Shuttlesworth. BKA your mom's homie. AKA Young Ash Ketchum. I gotta catch them all. FKA Mr. Big Stuff. And my pronouns is Black Matrix. Y'all be nice to each other, man. Take care. Drink a lot of water. It's gonna be a hot summer. We gone, fool.